The ultimate goal in making movies is to tell a story, right? Then why is it that creating a cinematic look always excludes story? I think I'm going to change that. Cinematic looks require story. So what the heck is story? Story is probably one of the most abused words among ad agencies and quote-unquote social media experts and brand strategists. They throw the word around like a baseball during spring training. Story is not a catch-all phrase. If you don't have a protagonist, an antagonist, goals, conflicts, then all you really have is moments, and there's really not much of a story there. As cinematographers, we must have a story in order to make our movies feel cinematic. If we don't have a story, we may get confused with weird experimental projects or bad commercials. So how is story incorporated into cinematography? Well, first off, look at your script and hopefully there's a story in there. As a cinematographer, you need to look at the story you are capturing, and for every shot you set up, every frame you compose, you need to ask yourself, is this complementing the story? Is it enhancing the movie in some way? There may be times when you're watching a movie and it feels like they're just capturing the events on the screen. But what about helping to tell the story with each image? Here's the same scene with two different approaches. So using the image to help tell the story will greatly change your image and make it more cinematic, because one of the main things people say when they're looking at a cinematic image is that it feels right. And feeling is not a technical term. Use the story to emote a feeling and you will achieve the results you need. How do you incorporate story into your cinematography? Let me know in the comments below. I really hope that this gives you some ideas on how to better tell your story, and that cinematic is not a technical term. If you have any questions for me, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and subscribe by clicking somewhere here on the screen. If your cup is empty, it is probably because you were thirsty and no longer are. If not, refill it, preferably with something enjoyable, but in moderation. You know, you can drown in water.